Occupy. Now that it's over, let's talk about it. And you might be wondering why I'm covering news that is 3 years old. But I argue there is no better time. 3-year-olds are fun, silly, and barely even cry when you do that arm swingy thing and then accidentally let go and send them hurling into a neighbor's yard. And think of it this way. The government crackdown of Occupy, especially in light of the massive Black Lives Matter and $15 minimum wage protest this week, is 100 times more important than what Hillary had for f***ing breakfast this morning, which is what you'll find on any other show. If you must know, it was a blondie, some black coffee, and an Asian pear. Even her breakfast is carefully calculated to include everyone. Occupy is one of those national events that has never had an accurate post-mortem. The other two are 9/11 and Abe Vigoda. In fact, I think Abe Vigoda might still be alive. Augustine, punch up abevigoda.com. Yeah, still alive. Yeah. That's a real website, by the way. I'll skim over the fact that Occupy was not a failure, but an incredible success. It changed the entire conversation in this country from one of austerity and sucking more out of the poor and middle class to one of income inequality and the 1% pillaging our economy with their fat, sweaty hands like silly putty that smells of death farts and rotting suckfish just curling around dollar bills. At least that's how I picture it. I mean, you can come up with your own at home. And Occupy achieved this without the help of the corporate media or Telemundo. I mean, Telemundo had some kind of hairy man dressed like a woman who seemed to speak favorably of Occupy, but that hardly counts as a full-court press. So Wall Street and the government worked together to end Occupy. Do not believe the lies that Occupy collapsed because the occupiers' nose rings got too cold in the winter, causing nasal hypothermia. Or that in an attempt to stop the white male omnivore patriarchy, black vegan lesbian feminazi anarchist gypsy nihilist samurais castrated everything within a 5-mile radius. Not true. Documents revealed through Freedom of Information Act requests show that the FBI monitored Occupy from day one and declared it a terrorist organization immediately. If that's considered a terrorist organization, then what in God's name is that? A sunny day picnic? I'll take the terrorists, please. I don't care if they force me to hold hands and think about something I'm thankful for. Rather than hang out with the guys who can't tell their taser from their firearm, I want to chill with the guy who sometimes confuses his mantra, his chakra, and his aura. But here's the part people really still don't know. As the Partnership for Civil Justice Fund said of the revealed FBI papers, these documents show that the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are treating protests against the corporate and banking structure of America as potential criminal and terrorist activity. And according to The Guardian, the documents show the cops and DHS working for and with banks to target, arrest, and politically disable peaceful American citizens. Wall Street and the government work together on this, like a male Argonaut octopus, which puts his sperm in one of his tentacles, shoves it inside the female, often on just the first or second date, and then detaches it and leaves the whole sperm-filled arm for her to enjoy later. Wall Street stuck its tentacle inside the government and left it there to impregnate the motherfucker. That's also how Ann Coulter reproduces. The arresting, tear gassing, thank you. The arresting, tear gassing, and beating of peaceful occupiers was a coordinated effort and shows that our police force, when needed, act as the military of the big banks. As was said on Daily Kos, the corporate capture of our government institutions is dangerous. Those who fail to learn from the history of how the Occupy movement was suppressed will be doomed to have it repeated upon them. Look, the ruling class certainly still talks about how to oppress the workers and the poor while making sure nothing like Occupy gains traction again. So why shouldn't we still be talking about how to make sure it does?